And welcome back to the Buckle Up Podcast universe with Brandon Rush and Mama Rush. As I said before, we are at 10.9 million viewers and listeners in 28 countries and 245 cities around the world. And today we have back a fan favorite, our guest Roberta Sparta, who was on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Her numbers turned out big time. People apparently really love Star Wars, just like I love Star Wars. So her numbers did very well. Let's see here. Should we check something on? Sorry, back again. That was just a quick message from Roberta, who was just telling me that she is crossing a canyon right now to get to a place where she can get better reception. But yeah, we are. Everyone loved having Roberta on. It was awesome for her to tell us the background story about her being cast in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series as I think it was Celia Organa. I might have pronounced that wrong, but she played the cousin, or I think it was a cousin or the aunt of Leia Organa, and just that whole entire process, which I thought was really cool. We really enjoyed having her on here, and she also had a film at Cannes Film Festival as well. So, or Cannes Film Festival. So, yeah, we're excited to have her back again, and wait till she gets back on here.
What up, Brandon?
Roberta, welcome back. Looking stylish and directed all and everything. You look like $1,000,000.
You with all my production crap in the back, you see like the glamorous life
Yeah,
of produce,
yeah,
and all.
absolutely. I do. Keep your eyes on the road, and I'll just talk to you. Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I got
What?
you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day here in LA. I had a lot of very exciting meetings for, future projects. So yeah, I'm really happy.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm happy for you. Yeah, I'd say you can keep your eyes on the road the whole entire time. I'll just talk to you. Well, I'm glad that you're having so many meetings. I mean, I've seen the project, like I've seen clips of what you've been putting out there of a new project you're working on or directing or producing, and it looks awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of these you know, new format, fairly popular. They're vertical mini dramas, so they're shot uh, 9 by 16, so they're shot vertical instead of horizontal.
Horizontal.
Yeah, and this has been a very productive month. We've done four.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so I have my last 3 days are coming up. Today I'm like quote unquote off, but like then I have the final 3 days, and it's been very exciting. It's
Oh
it's fun stuff, fun content.
man, I'm excited for you. Where can you see those dramas at? By the way, Roberta.
So one of the platforms that I work with the most and I adore them, it's called Playlet.
Okay.
And so basically it's an app that you would find in your app store, and you just download it and you watch there. So the content is specific to the platform itself. It's
Okay.
like, if it was like Netflix or whatnot, but it's for the phone, so it's vertical.
Okay. Oh, nice. Well, man, that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to. I heard about I think I even heard like Google picking those up, or there was some kind of platform or something like that was picking up those kind of dramas.
Yeah, yeah. I think what the news that like hit big probably like 2 weeks ago is that I don't remember if it was Netflix or Amazon that was starting to do it. But then if you really read the article, what they're doing is that they're shooting their promos. I think they're advertising for the regular, content. They're also going to be shooting that vertical so they can be more, I think, competitive in
Okay.
the ad space for phones. I don't think they're doing.
Uh Gotcha. I think you might have hit a little bit of a pocket there, but you should be back here in a second.
Change.
Okay. No, you're good. You're back. You're back. Wait, so I didn't tell you this, Roberta. So we were originally, before you came on, we were at 19 countries. Excuse me. Yeah, we're at 19 countries. After your episode dropped, we jumped up to 33 countries. You know, people everywhere. Yeah, it jumped up by, was that,
Me?
it jumped up by, I think, was that, we went from 19 countries to 33 countries. Excuse me, 28 countries, not 33. I'm sorry.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was literally all over. I'm like, dang, who does Roberta know? That like it is. It was all these different countries. Seriously, it was like crazy. Like it was literally. I put your episode out there, and that shows a lot about you and the people that support you. That it was literally all over. Like it was countries that we didn't have at first. So that's I gotta say, congrats to you, man. That's impressive. Yeah, I know, right?
Cool.
Bravo.
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know either. You know what I mean? Like, unless you tell me, I don't really like. I don't know. I don't know these things. So, what were the countries? I'm curious now.
So actually, let me get my computer real quick, and I'll pull them up. I'll let you know. Hold on 1 second, because I have to pull it up on. I have to pull it up on my computer because we have like I have like this thing. I use Buzzsprout for my podcast,
Okay.
and it shows you all the countries where your content's downloaded at. So,
Nice.
but I will say that we did have Italy before you came on. Though. I will pride
I
myself.
bet. I bet.
Let's see here. All give me 1 second. All right, I'm just going to read the full list of where we have. So we had United Kingdom, we had United States, we had Switzerland, we had Australia, Italy, Canada. Israel ended up popping up by 10. Germany, I think we had. Russian Federation, which we didn't have, showed up. Denmark showed up. We already had France. We had Japan. We had Thailand. We had South Korea. We had Kenya. We had New Zealand. We had Pakistan. We had Norway. Mexico too. But then I can't even pronounce this name. Oh my gosh. It's like, I'm sounding really dumb, but I'm going to attempt to. It's Lititian, or I'm going to spell it for you. It's L-I-E.
Oh, it's Lithuania. Lithuania.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I know how Lithuania is spelled. It's not that. It's spelled different. It's literally spelled Liechten.
Liechtenstein.
Yeah, where I don't even know where that is. I really don't.
Well, I don't want to say something stupid because my geography is kind of weird, but
Yeah.
it may. So I can't believe if it's nearby Belgium. It's
Okay.
like a very small. It's like if you say like Monaco, which is like a town within
Okay.
within like a bigger country. So it's one of those. I want
Okay.
to say maybe it's a monarchy too. I gotta have to look into that. But
It-
Liechtenstein, yeah, okay.
yeah, well, someone from there downloaded your thing. United Arab Emirates or Emirates.
Yeah, the Emirates, yeah.
Spain came on because of you. We had Romania. Lithuania came on. We had Brazil. Then North Mendocina. Did I pronounce it right?
Oh, all right. North what? Indonesia?
Macedonia. Excuse me, North Macedonia.
Oh, Macedonia. Okay.
We had Barbados and Hungary. That was the other one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's either me or Star Wars or both. You never know.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take it. No, people love their Star Wars, but I like that thing shot up. So I was like, wow, like, yeah. So hey, that's all you.
No, thank you, Brendan. Appreciate it. I'm glad. This is very fascinating. Like, you have a lot of countries. This is pretty awesome.
I'm really excited about it too, because I feel like one of my goals was to get people from all around the world, and I actually like seeing how we have people from different countries, even cities. We have 245 cities around the world, so it's like it's actually able to pinpoint not only the country they're from, but the actual city where it's downloaded at.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. But Roberta, you told me last time that you were about to either you were going to do some kind of competition or there was some kind of event you had coming up. Did you do something over the weekend?
I worked. Competition, I'm thinking.
Or a festival or some type? There was something you're like, hey, Brent, I got this thing coming up. And then I was like, oh, good. We can talk about it whenever you come back on. It's okay if not. It's okay. No worries.
I can't remember. I mean, the only thing that I have going on that I have to send an email out today, and I'm a little bit, good nervous,
Okay.
is because the Remedy that had the market premiere in Cannes
Yeah.
is being considered by, I mean, we submitted to the Venice Film Festival.
Oh, wow.
And they haven't said no yet, which is usually like a good thing because, by now you should find out if it's a no. So, but we made a decision, like the team collectively is like, hey, let's just follow up today,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like time is like shrinking very quickly. And so it's like today I'm gonna send an email and we'll see because we submitted for like two different categories.
Okay.
So yeah, fingers crossed because going to Venice would be epic.
Oh
But
yeah.
no, I'm thinking if I didn't do anything like
It might
uber
have been that.
exciting. It
Um,
must have been Venice because like that's pretty much the only one that we're like like waiting to hear and that is coming up like
yeah.
timeline wise too.
Well, I hope you. I mean, I prayers up that you guys get a chance to go. I'd be awesome. You'd be back home, right? Again, like pretty much back home.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to because one of the meetings that I had today was also about a project potentially shooting there, like
Oh
right
wow.
before. And so it's like, it would be a twofer type of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, going to Venice with worldwide premiere would be amazing. So we'll keep the energy up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for it, man. Hey, if they keep track of how many people love you on here, then shoot, they should have you on there. I think that'd be great. Also, I think that'd be awesome whenever your dad comes on, like you translating for him would be amazing because Italy, like
Yeah,
Italian's such a beautiful language. So like for you, that'd be awesome. I'm so stoked for that.
I told him, and it was funny because like the first reaction is that he just started laughing,
Yeah,
and then like when he processed what it was, it was like, no, it's like kind of like imposter syndrome is like I shouldn't do it. And I was like, Dad, he just wants to like ask you, but that's how people get. Sometimes when you offer them something that is cool, and
yeah,
this happens to all of us, it's like, like almost like, do I deserve that? Should I do that? Because it's really rare, I think,
yeah,
nowadays to just like, and that's what both you and I try to do, to just like genuinely like open doors and
yeah,
share good stories. So then he goes like, no, no, no. I was like, no. I said that I'll be there, like I'll help you.
yeah.
We'll do this together. And so then he goes like, yeah, okay. So right now I
Oh,
just have
awesome.
to, of course, have to create the group chat, and once I'm done with my project on the 6th, then I have open like 2 good weeks in which we
Okay.
can do more of this for sure.
Perfect. And then we can figure out the times. Like I'm really flexible on my time, so we'll figure out what a time that works for you
Sure.
because I know the Italy and all that. What else did I have to ask? I had to ask you several questions here. Roberta, you said before that you before we get back to the directing stuff that you were when you're modeling in Milan. What was that like?
Yeah, so I started, so when I was like, I was still in oh my God, I would it be
Junior
high
high or high
school?
school? Yeah, probably high school
I was
before
like
college.
16 essentially.
Yeah, high school.
And I like this makeup artist found me in a mall. I was just like roaming the mall. And she was like super stylish, like girl. I remember her. Her name was Megan, actually, now that I think about it.
Oh yeah.
Um, and she was, like each makeup line has kind of like their ambassador makeup artist, right? So she was one of the ambassador for this specific makeup line. She was like, "Oh my God, your face is pretty. Like you should model." And I had zero clue about it.
Yeah.
But sure enough, like 2 days later or whatever, me and my dad, because I was underage, we went to Milan because they had like a big like touring event that summer coming up, and so it was like they wanted to use me as one of their like faces for the tour. And so we went to the agency. My dad signed the contract. It was like all surreal because
Yeah.
at the time I didn't really have, it was like that weird age. I didn't have a great relationship with my dad, and it was just like long silence. It was like that weird age, but anyways, long silences in the car. But we went, and then that summer, I remember my friends, my two besties at the time, they went on this like awesome like Europe trip
Yeah.
by train. And I was, working, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was a great experience. And then after that, I kept doing it, but I was still in school full time, so it
Yeah.
was, like not as major, I guess, or full time as I wanted to be. And then when I finished high school, I went to university because it was never really seen as like it could become like my future or a real job. So like I went to university, I studied law
Oh,
for
I didn't
like,
know that. Hold up now. Let's
yeah.
talk about this too. Go into it. You skipped over that completely, Roberta.
Yeah, so basically, because my parents were like, no, like, you have to go to university, blah, blah. I was like, fine, whatever. So I went and I did, but I didn't like finish it. I did like
That's
two
okay.
years on and off. But I did do exams and I actually really did like it. I probably, if I wasn't a producer, I would have been a killer lawyer, I think.
Okay.
But no, and I was like doing more of modeling and promos and videos and all of that, and then one day, completely random, and that is one of my um you know biggest, like my biggest definitive moments, like the moments that like really shape your life, have
Yeah.
all been like very sharp and very like instinctual decision. I was in Milan working at a convention or something as one of like the models for
Models.
a brand, and I was like, F it, I'm just gonna move here. And that was around like full time because I was still commuting, right? It's only like
Yeah.
2 hours. So it was like this, a lot of days I would be like leaving my little town and go to the big train station and come back like at night, because it was
Yeah.
always like within one day, it was like auditions or it was a job. And that day I was like, no, that's it, I'm doing it. And I remember I called my mom, and I said, hey, so I'm moving to Milan. And she goes like, what? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was like, that's it. Because somehow I don't even remember. Oh no, I remember how. So I was working this job, and I met this girl, and she was like, yeah, like there's this apartment, and they're looking for another girl to come in because there's an open room, and it's in this area, which was awesome because it was super close to the Duomo.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much is it? And she told me the price, and I was like, I'm taking it. And sure enough, I took it. I called my mom. And then that's when that was also soft launch of my, acting career, because
Okay.
when I moved to Milan, I started doing more video work,
Yeah.
right? And that's also when I quit university because I kind of like just made more of a commitment. And
Okay.
so while I was doing video work, like commercials and whatnot, my, my pronunciation was very, let's say, regional. Let's say you have a southern accent that you have to
Yeah.
get rid of. So when I was doing accent reduction classes, I was doing one-on-one with this very she's a very like popular theater actress in
Really?
Italy. And she's the one that told me, is like, hey, like, have you thought about, maybe doing acting full time? And I was like, no, because I was
Yeah.
just doing it, for the for commercials, not like, thinking about, being trained dramatically or anything like that. But I really liked her and I had a lot of respect for her because
Yeah.
she truly was one of the, I think she's still alive, but like she was one of the most like iconic, like classically trained theater actresses in Italy.
Really?
Yeah, her name is Nicoletta Ramorino.
Okay.
And
Oh, I like
so,
that.
when she gave me like that moment that we had, I was like, you know what? Like, I trust this woman. Like,
Yeah.
yes. And so I started my first like acting class at her center, and that was the beginning of my, second career, because that's when I still modeled throughout the years. I mean, as a matter of fact, I did a modeling job October last year because it was another random thing. Like one of my, here in LA, I had several. This is gonna sound
It's
wrong, but that's the truth.
you're straight.
Um, Several like on camera husbands and boyfriends and all of that, right? When
Yeah.
you have good chemistry or good looks, it's like, okay, for this audition, I'm gonna call this guy,
Oh
and
yeah.
so his name is Nigel, and Nigel just like hit me up as like, hey Roberta, like, I have this job and they can't find my wife, and I thought about you, and I was like, do you want to do it? Because they saw so many girls
Yeah.
and none of them works. And I was like, sure. So I
Yeah.
just sent, a couple of photos, and that was a Toyota print job.
Oh wow.
Um Yeah, and it was great. And I reconnected with Nigel, you know, after many years, probably like, well, actually, since last time I saw him was 2019. And funny enough, my dad also met him because my dad was here visiting.
Yeah.
And that's the time that I was working with Nigel a lot. So they also met. So yeah, it's funny how, you know, certain people, even like yourself, they remain almost like present but silent parts of your
Yeah.
life, you know,
Yeah.
and then it's like you know, in waves, like you
Yeah.
come back and you reconnect. And I really cherish that.
No, that's awesome, and I think that's great. Like I was always trying to get that with people because like mixed couples, they do that for commercials a lot. I would try, like I would have people like, hey, like look, we can do like, would you be cool with going in this together? And they're like, yeah, sure, just let me know. It's smart, and you're helping the casting do their part. But in fact, if you guys look that good part on camera, then why not? You know,
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
so it was great. At one point, it was like me and another friend of mine, Jose, and we also had fake kids. Because
yeah.
at the end
Oh,
of the day,
really?
you know, they were they were like, yeah, you know, looking for a family, and we just made friends with, you know, with the kids' parents at auditions and stuff. And so
Yeah.
at times we would just go in like full package,
Oh,
and yeah, it
that's
worked.
smart.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah,
smart. Look, good for you. Hey, you got to do it because that's what they end up doing anyway.
yeah.
Um, what was Milan like? Because I know a lot of our audience who I've never been to Milan in my lifetime. Would you kind of tell us about living in Milan? What that kind of life was like? Good thing to do, things like that. How long did you live in Milan for too?
I was there on and off for like probably like 2 years.
Okay.
Same apartment though. And this apartment was like amazing. It was with two other girls with me. They were both in university. Um, and always loved Milan because you have a lot of, you know, very much like LA, there's a lot of different cultures in the city. So you
Yeah.
have different food, different stores, and you can try a little bit of everything. And I also love fashion. So like all the stores, everything is, you know, the best of the best.
Yeah.
You may not necessarily go in and buy like Gucci and Armani, but you're just like in that, you know,
Yeah.
atmosphere for which like everything is like cool and, you know, put together. People are always dressed up, even when they go to the supermarket, you
Yeah.
know, which is like the opposite of like here
Oh
in
yeah.
LA. It's like sure, slippers. Sometimes I go to Ralph's wearing my pajamas. It's like here it's like, you know, the other side of the spectrum. But
Yeah.
I loved Milan because of the nightlife, the restaurant, the stores, the people. I personally had a great time. It was also the city that is the closest to, I want to say, LA, or like a big city
Really?
in terms of diversity of offers, because like I'm also very much into like fitness and health, and they have a bunch of different gyms and workouts. And you know, they had yoga was one of the first city to have it. They also have berries, you know, so it's like there's a lot of offers. And I had a great time. And I always said if I go back to Italy, I would probably live in Milan.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Wow, and
great.
man, look at you, Roberta, being so world traveled. That's what I love. I knew like the minute like when we came out this, I'm like, dude, I have to get Roberta on at some point. And I'm glad I was able to get you on because I'm like, I know that you have. I didn't know all that about you, which is why I love this show too, because it gives an opportunity for us to find out about different people and where they come from and all that they have going on. And you've accomplished a lot. I mean, to live in two countries basically, unless there's a third
Yeah.
one that I don't know about. Uh, you know?
Not yet, not yet. I mean, you know, we talked about it the last time. I love LA, I love California, I love United States, and I think I'm gonna be here for, you know, the foreseeable future. I
Yeah.
may retire in Italy or somewhere else, but for
Okay.
now,
You're
I
here.
still got some work to do here. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing a phenomenal job. Let's see, what else did I want to make sure I hit everything? Is there anything that I didn't cover that you want to talk about? Like even at Canes, we talked about that. I think a decent amount. But is there
Yeah.
more stuff within that actually that experience, Roberta? I don't think you actually told us about. You told us. I asked you how exciting that was. You know, that your family was able to come and all that. But even the process of what you went through with showing up there, what it was like on your day to day, you meeting people, stuff like that.
Yeah, so Cannes is if you, when you go there for business specifically and not for, for the glam, it has to be organized very well, because it can get overwhelming in a good way really quickly, because everything happens in the, like, old town can, in
Yeah.
the, it's called Palais du Casino, is the casino palace, right? Normally it's a casino. And so every, like, you want to, like, stay nearby. I couldn't, because I had my parents, and I was like, let me get them something that has a pool that they can hang out. So it's like,
Okay.
like, for me in the morning, it was like probably like a good, if I would walk, which I love walking, it's
Yeah.
45 minutes. But if not, you hop on an Uber, but that can get pricey, right? And
Yeah.
usually when you go, like, already getting like the badge, if you have to get the badge, it's probably around, I think, when you do early birds, but it's still like $400 or $500, like,
Yeah.
just the badge, right? But you need the badge, because anybody that goes there for the movie business or entertainment business, going to the market is so eye-opening. And you also have, with the badge, you can also get, although it's really tough, but you can get free tickets, right, to all the movies that are that screen there,
Yeah.
all the premieres and all of that. So you want to stay very close to the Palais, so you can walk and you can change during the day between things, because I would wake up at 8, go to the market, run around like a mad person for like 7, 8 hours, and
Yeah.
then at night, if you have events and whatnot, like, you want to go change,
Yeah.
right? So being nearby is like number one tip, and not having a car, because you definitely do not want to have to deal with parking.
Oh,
Like, you
parking.
basically zero, like, you arrive via plane, you land, take an Uber, stay there, and just, like, do the short commute and the walk. But going to the market, it was very empowering, and it's always fascinating, because I feel for a lot of us filmmaker, there's few misconception, right? Or like urban legends that you hear, that it's like, oh, you cannot go to that sales company or to that distributor, they're never going to listen to you. But there you have everybody. So sure, what it takes is a little bit of initiative, right? So you
Yeah.
have to, like, be like, hey, this is me, because essentially the market, it's like you're going to Wall Street and you're trying to sell your movie, right?
Yeah.
But, like, you can literally just walk to, to a booth and be like, hey, you guys, this is me, this is what I have, what do you think? And it's a true chance to connect with people and to build relationship, and it's
Yeah.
all, at the tip of your fingers. Like, you can really do it. There's very, very interesting panels where you can discover market trends, tax incentives, because the other beautiful thing is that outside the market, alongside the beach, each country has their own, like, pavilion. So
Really?
you can go, you meet, they talk you through incentives. So, it's all about collaboration and co-pros, and Cannes is the market. So it sets the trends for the rest of the year, right?
Okay.
And so it's always very, I think, inspirational, empowering, but it has to be, like, planned right, because you can make a lot of good connections,
Yeah.
but you have to be, strategic. Otherwise you just end up running around. If you don't have all your meetings set up, you just end up running around and not, not maximizing your time. So I think for it's an experience that every filmmaker should do at least once in their lives. That's what I would
Absolutely.
say. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Roberta. Roberta, I just have one more question, because then I'm gonna let you get out of
Yeah.
your car and take that stuff inside. Um, it's so you said this part, which I didn't know about this. So you're saying that when you go there, that they have different markets. So you're saying, for instance, let's just say I'm not going to use. Well, let's just say if we want to have a movie released in Italy, is that what you're saying? For instance, like if it's or Italy or Spain, that there's a person from Spain and there's a person from Italy there, just like, hey, would you like to distribute this movie here in those countries? Or
Kind of. So obviously, yes, so there are, so you have your, like, your, let's call it, market booklet. So you see all the exhibitors and where they're from, what country they
yeah,
represent, and all of that. So if you wanted to, you could, like, hit all your distributors, which is what a lot of people do, either to sell movie, to find money, whichever. And so you can essentially plan your own, like, world map,
yeah,
right? and just like go to all the markets. But when I say that there is a, so there's the big market, and then outside there's like all these little like mini tents on the beach, and it's like Italy, UK, Spain,
Really?
and you go there. But usually when you go there is more so to talk about production incentives in that country, because everybody's trying to get you to go and film
Oh,
there, and to do so they give you money back, right? So each country, which is the same thing that happens in the United States, is
yeah.
just we do it like it's Georgia, it's California, it's Kentucky, and there is the same thing, but it's on an international scale.
Oh my gosh.
So basically you have the little tents represent like the country itself, but then inside the market you have sales agents and distributors from all over the world, and they are their own
Yeah.
company. So one is more of like a, kind of like a government entity, right?
Yeah.
And the other one is more like a private sector. Like if I have my own distribution company, I would have my own like little booth, inside the marché. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, Roberta, you've just blown my mind with that because I did not know that at all. And last question. I know you got to go.
So good.
With so, for instance, like how I heard that the United Kingdom's taken over for filming everything. Like I heard that a lot of the movies now are filming in the United Kingdom. So, for instance, when let's say Disney, well, maybe not so much Disney, but like let's say that with all these movies are now filming in the United Kingdom or London, is it because that these people brought this to Cannes and the United Kingdom said, hey, you know what? We as a country are going to give you these kind of tax incentives if you film here in the United Kingdom, basically.
It's a mix of things, because sometimes like when you go, because when you have a movie, right, you gotta sell it. So
Yeah.
also every time you do co-productions or you go in another country, you are kind of like indirectly already putting your foot into, or your stamp in that country.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of like already opens you up a little bit more to be like, hey, I'm filming here. Maybe you're gonna find already like distribution for that country. It's kind of
Yeah.
like they go together. But there's several things that um unfortunately they say are true, which is production go outside the United States because we don't have to deal with the unions, right?
Ooh, interesting.
It's a union thing, it's a money thing. But I really believe, and I had a very interesting conversation with a producer from Spain this morning that I met in
Okay.
Cannes, because that's what it is. It's about, making international connection and just carry them through. It's like a friendship. That she was saying that a lot of the good meetings that she had in Cannes with American producers are now kind of like stalling and falling through because people are concerned about tariffs, right? That may come
Oh, with
in for, yeah. So
oh wow.
basically, that's also a thing that is at play right now. And I have this feeling, like I said, I'm very like instinctual that, and I'm also probably very what's it called, excited, because last week, I can't remember what day it was, I went and I watched the F1 movie with
Oh yeah,
Brad
how
Pitt.
was that? I want to go check that out.
It was the best movie I've seen probably in the last 4 years.
Holy
Solid.
smokes. Really?
So, but also bear in mind, like I'm a F1 fan. Like I grew up
With
watching
that.
Formula One every
Yeah.
Sunday, right? Because it's mainly now it's booming in the States
But yeah,
because of, the Netflix show and all of that. But I grew up with it. So there's also like an emotional,
tied to it. Yeah.
innate attachment there. The movie is phenomenal. He's great. The production value is like through the roof. Like it's insane. And I went to Universal City Walk. I watched it on IMAX, and the movie like the theater was full.
Yeah. Oh
And
wow.
when you are there in that moment, you're like, okay, now I remember in a way why I got into this to begin with, because it's when there was this one moment. I can't say what happened in the movie, but because I don't want to do a spoiler, but
Oh
it's like
yeah, I'm gonna go see it.
you felt, and you're gonna know when you watch it what it is. It's like the air got sucked out of the theater.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
and that's when there's like, it's a communal experience that you're truly living, like that entertainment that you're living together, that you're all in it together. And I also am watching at the releases, like I'm going on 4th of July, I'm going to watch Rebirth, Jurassic Rebirth.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm watching also the releases, and I really do believe this is the beginning of a renaissance of
Film.
movie theater goers. Like
Good.
people are going to go back to theaters and to watch it, and to go back full circle with what my friend Isa from Spain said today, is that I really do believe that there is going to be more movies made
Good.
here, because it's also, it's fun to film abroad, but Hollywood is Hollywood for a specific reason. And all the
Yeah.
people that say that, oh, Hollywood is dying or whatever. No, I think this is truly the beginning of of the comeback of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because if movies have been made here for, many, many years, there's a
Yeah.
reason, which is weather, which is resources. There's a lot of pluses in producing in the United States and in California. So I really do believe that we're in for an exciting end of 2025, and that I really believe that movie theaters are going to see an increase in like popularity, because I think what we are experiencing is that we got like streaming fatigue. We
Yeah.
had this moment where it's like it was cool, instead of like going to the movie theater, like be at home and watch it
Yeah.
on your own TV.
Yeah.
And right now I think we're going back, and it's going to be, we want to go back to the theaters, and we want to have that collective experience,
Yeah.
right? Because we're tired of being in front of our TV just like deciding where to click, right?
Yeah.
And it's either going to be that, or we're going to be on our phones, especially for content that is going to be consumed quickly. So like the verticals, right?
Yeah.
Almost like a noise or something that you have in the background, not something that, you're like necessarily
Yeah. Absolutely.
fully engaged.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what happens, but I really believe we are going back to theaters and go watch F1, because it was
Amazing. I'm gonna go
insane.
check that one out.
You have to.
I love that experience that we used to have of going to the movies. The last two movies I've seen have been Dune 2 Dune 2 got me to go back to movie theaters because I love that Dune
Yeah,
experience. And then
yeah,
Top Gun Maverick just outdid everything. Like that was
I
Dune
know.
2 and Top Gun Maverick were ones that I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah. But I hope it does return, like you said, to how it was before. And
I think it will. I think it will.
yeah. Well, Roberta, look, you've been absolutely wonderful as always, looking beautiful as ever. You're always welcome on here. I love talking to you. Like you always have great insight and everything. So you're always welcome on here anytime. And then looking forward to
Thank
having
you.
your pop one here with you guys. Speaking in Italian and translating, I'm so excited for that. Just so a lot of people on here would not have heard people speak Italian, I guess. So it'd be awesome to have you guys doing that and I'll speak slower,
Absolutely.
obviously. So I'm excited for it.
We'll make it happen once I finish this project. We'll pick a date, and whenever, if you want to do like topic specifics podcast or
Yeah,
whatever, I'm
any,
always available.
Roberta, I love you for that. Yes, I would like to do that. And then just text me like, "Hey, B, can I hop? You want to hop one? I guess I want to talk." Yeah, bet. Why not? I'm excited
Okay.
for it. All right. Well, look,
Sounds
thank you
good.
for your time today. I'm glad you got home safely. Keep kicking butt in your
Yes.
projects. And honestly, where God's taking you, you're going to continue to excel. You just have the personality for it, and then you're just a good person in general too, and you're talented too. So
Thank you.
you got this under control. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Roberta, and I'll
Brandon.
get this back to you. And then send me what photo you want to use for your thing this time.
All right. Sounds good.
All righty,
We'll
I'll
do.
talk to you later. Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Bye.